Hey there survivors, remember me? It's SnowBee, crawling out of the rubble after a modest 10-month hibernation. I wasn't infected, I promise, just rebooting. What better way to kick things off than to dive headfirst into the glorious chaos of 7 Days to Die Overhaul mods. Ever since version 1 of 7 Days to Die finally pretended to crawl out of alpha, the overhaul scene has been, well, let's say emotionally unstable. Version numbers have no idea where they are. I mean, it's a mess with mods sitting somewhere generally between version 1.3 to around about 2.4. Some mods have powered through the apocalypse, others are still trying to figure out what broke, and a few have quietly wandered off into the wasteland, never to be seen again. So grab your pipe baton, patch up your base, and let's take a look at what the modding world's been up to while I've been away and totally productive and not at all binge watching post-apocalyptic cooking shows. One thing that's clear is that damn, there are a lot of overhaul mods. Recently, my Discord had to split the mod section in half owing to the fact that it had reached its 50 channel maximum for one category. So it's now advertising a whopping 52 overhauls. I honestly didn't know there were so many, and I don't even have all of them as it is. Grinding its way into our lives is Afterlife, a highly immersive, aesthetically redesigned, and often lauded as one of the most well-made mods for a player. However, it isn't just a mod, it's a lifestyle choice, specifically the choice to suffer. If vanilla 7 Days to Die makes you feel mildly stressed, Afterlife will make sure that you question your life decisions somewhere around about day 1. Updates were coming along quite well when version 1 of 7 Days to Die appeared. Unfortunately, the last update was 1.3 and the dev Redbeard has since not been working on the mod. Even though Redbeard is MIA, an Afterlife team has taken over and helping out while Redbeard has been away. Last month they released an Afterlife update version for 1.4. So you have to roll back to 1.4 if you wish to play the mod with the new update. Currently the new release and update of the mod will come under the new name of Echoes from the Afterlife. The mod is distinct but based on the Afterlife that Redbeard created. One of the main features that numerous players loved to hate about Afterlife was its dedication to sending in constant hordes of zombies. Early word on the street suggests that this hasn't changed much, but zombies do appear now to not spot you as easily anymore, and they also lose interest in you a bit quicker. So I would suggest that if you were on the fence, give it a go. It really is a magnificent mod. May the grind, the force, be with you. Another well-known mod that has been off and on since Alpha 21 is Apocalypse Now. Killer Bunny took time off from modding for personal reasons. He had to go out and, well, basically get a life outside of modding. At the end of last year, he started with another mod based on the horror video game franchise of Silent Hill. He did this to avoid burnout. This mod brings the atmosphere and the fear of the unknown that Silent Hill is known for in its games. Unfortunately, the mod has not been updated beyond version 1.2, and he said that he is not expecting to update it soon. Well, you never know. Killer Bunny then changed to yet another mod, which released recently and is called Zombicide mod. It is updated to the latest version and features no crafting, no traders, and no challenges. Well, there is a challenge. Basically, you need to kill zombies and clear POIs, similar to what you see in the Rebirth Purge scenario. Now, once you clear a POI, it will remain clear. There are only vending machines that will allow you to purchase items and upgrades, including many of the custom weapons. There are menu customizations to better tailor your experience, and the mod is in an early stage and currently only available on Nexus. With all the stopping and starting of Killer Bunny's most popular mod, I really thought Apocalypse Now's helicopter had finally crashed, with him saying it was not going to be worked on soon. His Discord, which was called Apocalypse Now, he changed that to Killer Bunny's Mods instead, and that was it. Well, no it wasn't. About 2 or 3 weeks ago, Killer Bunny announced he was back with developing Apocalypse Now. He changed his Discord again back to Apocalypse Now and has since further said coding and updating to version 2 is going well. Of course, I wouldn't even dream of an ETA on this mod. Still, Apocalypse Now is one of my all-time favorite mods, so it will be really good to get this baby out of storage. Thanks for the great news, KB. There is a lot of players that will be really happy to see this mod be released. After Darkness Falls version 6 was released for 7 Days to Die version 1, updates mainly died owing to the fact that Kane needed to work on other personal things. There was also some issues with one of the main modders that was helping with writing modlets and some code for the mod. However, that seems to have been sorted out at the moment. So, a version 2 unfortunately does not exist for any plebs to play with. It has been months since the most popular mod for 7 Days to Die has received any updates. Kane has no ETA yet, but he has said that he had started previously working on 2.3, but yeah, we don't know yet if that's going to happen very soon. As many players, especially those playing mods, don't care too much about version 2 of the game, playing an old version of Darkness Falls is not a train smash. Kicking demon butt in version 1 is still the favorite pastime of many players, so go out and get it. Age of Oblivion. Now, this is one of those that has been kicked into the dirt and down and out for ages. The mod was left by the dev Preppocalypse and is unlikely to be continued by him at any point. It was never updated to version 1 after Alpha 21.2, and even though there were numerous starts and stops in 2024, development has not really taken off. Preppocalypse said that after 3 years he was quite burnt out. Still, a team was announced in 2024 to try and take over and help in that, but after that kind of died away, nothing was said. Until a few weeks ago, when suddenly there was activity. This appeared to be related to the Salty Zombies gaming community. Nam, the Salty Zombies CEO and founder, said Age of Oblivion was far from dead. Preppocalypse had officially handed over development of the mod to him, and they had big plans for it. Most overhauls are made by one passionate person working part-time. Mod developers don't always have the time to work on it, but will still do some incredible work. The Salty Zombies have dedicated paid people that code and can work on development. They have a professional Unity developer working full-time, supported by the Salty Zombies 7 Days to Die modding team. They are experienced, motivated, and well, full of ideas. In short, Nam said they are building something much bigger and are hoping to get an Age of Oblivion update out before Christmas. So, good luck to them. It will be very interesting to see the next chapter, especially as there is a new Overhaul mod that launched recently and may just take the crazy title away from Age of Oblivion. More about that just now. On the other hand, District Zero, developed by Xylox or Zil, a modder from Ireland, looks like it is unfortunately abandoned for now. District Zero is unique owing to it providing an experience from the normal zombies and its variations, which most mods are. As much as the mod did add a version of zombies later to liven the world up, it still remained a robot and cyberpunk themed high-tech dystopia overhaul. Besides shovels and vanilla guns, you're rocking plasma and laser energy weapons. Xylox is still around, but says owing to time he will unlikely be working on the mod, so he conceded it to be abandoned for now. I think with the recent versions and updates of 7 Days to Die, District Zero would really have been able to shine with the amazing ideas that Zil had with his mod. I remember looking at his mod and was excited about his ideas of interplanetary conquest and how he was planning to possibly make it happen. I hope one day he can see his vision put into action. Anyway, he is still around on his Discord, so you can give him a shout if you want to. And you can play an awesome version of District Zero if you downgrade your 7 Days to Die to version 1.4. Aircraft Carrier Challenge mod has been updated and is not history. In fact, the trio that brought you the Aircraft Carrier mod, Devil's Cut, Techno Geek, and Angelicus Gaming, have a new challenge mod. This is called Destroyer of Dreams Challenge. It is similar to their first aircraft carrier mod, which was permadeath, but now it comes with a toggle option for you that you can make it so that you're not doing just permadeath. You're not allowed to leave the ship once you enter it, and you must work your way through the destroyer, looting, gathering resources, carving up stuff and crafting, and finally you will progress to leave the ship in a UH-60 helicopter that you must craft. You can download the Destroyer Challenge from the mod launcher, and both the old aircraft carrier and new Destroyer Challenge are updated to the latest version 2.4. Speaking of challenges, one mod that has been going very strong and updated is the well-known Dishong Tower Challenge by Hell's Janitor. This is also a permadeath challenge where you wander through the huge Dishong Tower POI and need to craft your way to flying off the top to win the game. It has been around for years and is still being updated. The other two mods by Hell's Janitor are 28 Days Later and I Am Legend. 28 Days Later has been updated, but I Am Legend has not. Hell's Janitor said he plans to take a look at it sometime, maybe, and see whether it is actually worth updating to maybe 2.4. So you would need to roll back to version 1 if you want to play I Am Legend. Asia Mod, our amazing Japanese and Asian overhaul, has been stuck in version 1.3 for a very long time. Besides the developers saying they were working on it, but hit a few snags along the way, it has been very quiet on the Eastern Front. So, maybe expect a version 2 next year. Back to Origins and Grey's Prophecy, all MIA and not progressing for now. Both are stuck in version 1, and when it comes to Grey's Prophecy, the dev Gan the Grey just said he has not touched the mod for a very long time, with the fun pimp screwing stuff up faster than he can update. So, nothing much has happened. A lot of drama often seem to follow the MeanOnes Survival mod and developer, and it appears that this mod and dev have mostly stepped away from 7 Days to Die. The Discord vanished, and most of the old download links for older versions have also been removed. The MeanOnes dev did say that he was concentrating on other things and had personal life issues to deal with, but yeah, the mod has been removed from places like Nexus and 7 Days to Die mods, and his Discord has closed. So even the smaller modlets that he was developing and working with, they also seem to mostly have been removed. EndZ did get a remastered update to version 2.0, though that was way back in July. After that, things went quiet, and with no real updates around, I really thought that this mod had died, until we had word that the developer, Legion, welcomed a new zombie baby into the world. Or is that a baby demon, maybe? So, congrats to Legion on your new minion. Take it from me, I do understand why updates will be slower than normal. Want to play EndZ? Well, you will need to roll back to an earlier version of 2 to play the mod. One of the best authentic 7 Days to Die survival mods is True Survival. The last time this puppy was let out of its cage was Alpha 21. The mod tries to walk the line between realism and fun gameplay and does a pretty good job of it. With comprehensive classes, action skills, weapon skills, more comprehensive injuries and infections, it also has 70 custom workbenches, different tools, and a nutrition system where you must monitor and manage your diets with optimal protein, fiber, and vitamin levels. The dev, Spider, has not given up, but he is slowly plowing through and getting to a point where he can release. He has posted on his Discord the occasional update, but this is just progress information. No actual update that you can download. At least he is still working on it, so that is great. One of the oldest overhaul mods in existence that is still churning away is Ravenhearst. After the very highly anticipated Ravenhearst 10 was released for version 1 7 Days to Die, things got a bit difficult. With many personal problems, including the fact the dev Jax had to have his leg amputated, well, updates have slowed down, which you can damn well understand why. He has still been ploughing along and has been updating and plans to release a Ravenhearst 11 at some point. Jax now has a Trello account and is posting detailed patch notes over there. And so you can still see that he's already working on 2.4 at the moment. Still, we can't say what the future has in store, but hopefully version 11 of Ravenhearst will be a reality at some point. During this time, Jax has also been working on Scavengers of the Living Dead. The mod was released for Alpha 20 many years ago. Well, it has also resumed activity now and then over the past few years, and this hopes to be released at some point. The one and only best sorcery mod that is worth playing, unfortunately, has not been updated. DevRex was planning to release Sorcery Mod for version 1, but plans were delayed owing to personal reasons and health problems. He's been battling a real difficult illness for a long time and can only contend with managing the symptoms for now. He unfortunately has to keep pushing the date for release. Sorcery Mod is one of those overhaul mods that actually has a complete collaboration with another overhaul mod, which is Darkness Falls. Two massive overhauls working together is quite a feat. The last date for a Sorcery Mod release was October 24, but that has unfortunately come and gone as well. I see that the announcement has been changed to November 27. So, owing to DevRex still battling real-life debuffs and as mana potions sadly don't work outside the mod, we're all hoping his health bar starts refilling soon so that he can get back to releasing and working on his mod. Stay strong, Wizard. The Arcane community is rooting for you. The Backpacker Challenge mod is still ongoing. This is one of the few server-side overhaul mods that I've actually covered. It is a mod that only requires files on the server. It is very small, under 20 kilobytes in size, and primarily allows for a roaming lifestyle. You can only craft items from your backpack or on your person. There is a special backpack workstation that allows for crafting of basic items, and all other workstations such as the cement mixer, the forge, the chemistry station are effectively useless, except you can salvage them for resources or sell them. No advanced items can be crafted in your backpack. Loot, basic crafting and purchasing are your only means of obtaining items and upgrading. The dev Aramis says it works on any of the version 2s out there, but you are likely playing on 2.4, so it is fine with that. Never Alone. Well, as far as I can tell, it is dead. Your EndZ Mod is not dead, but with half the developers that were helping out leaving the mod for personal reasons, main devs said there may not be any future updates for version 2. But likely in the future, development will slowly continue. If you want to play the mod, then you'll have to backtrack to version 2.2 for 7 Days to Die, and then you can play it. The developer FNS, or Flutter Nutter Sandwich, created the overhaul mod Better 7 Days to Die, and then changed it to Smorgasbord. I really hope I pronounced that correct. Which is a Swedish buffet style of mixed foods that you can choose. Like a buffet, his overhaul was a mix of many different modlets. FNS did an excellent job of supporting his huge mix of mods for his overhaul, but for now FNS has stopped and officially said it is discontinued. It is updated to 2.3, so you can get the most recent version, but he does not plan to continue. If someone wants to continue his project, you can contact him. The Spencer Mansion incident, which is a niche scenario version of Frantic Dan's mods. The immersive challenge that we originally did was based on the atmosphere and setting of the Resident Evil horror franchise, specifically the 1998 Mansion incident. Frantic Dan discontinued development of this, but has continued with his Frantic Mansion challenge, which originally was an idea he got from Glock 9. Here you must escape the Resident Evil Spencer Mansion via a gyrocopter. As usual, these challenges are permadeath. So, one life. This version of the mod is being updated, so don't get it mixed up with the original Spencer Mansion incident mod that he has axed. In the shadows of a broken dawn, we stand on land we can't depend. A great old mod, War of the Walkers, only updated to version 1.3 earlier this month, and there is now an experimental version for 1.4 if you want to download that. Dwellord, the dev, has publicly stated a few months ago that he has no idea of the time frame to update to version 2. So, unfortunately, if you are a War of the Walkers player, you will need to roll back to 1.4 for what I assume could be a very long time. I mentioned hashtag survival quite a while back in a previous video. Hashtag survival refers to the name of an excellent trio of people that run a Discord and website that is dedicated to survival gaming news and information. It is primarily run by Jordan, but there is a team composed of 2 other family members. Their site provides updates on games, reviews on survival games, and person of interest biographies about survival gaming developers. They also host gaming giveaways, and I use them because I trust Jordan for his deep understanding of the survival genre. There are so many pretend survival games out there, and I like his critical analysis. Often there are games that I haven't even heard of, and so you can also get information by joining his Discord or sub to their newsletters. I'm not being paid for the promotion, I just believe it is worthwhile following them for an excellent source of news and information across many types of survival games. True to nature, as always, Rebirth Mod has taken forever to update owing to Ramsey always making sure that his work is polished and well tested. He finally dropped version 2.4 at the end of last month, and the new version is also sporting a new scenario called the Moonlock Protocol. The Moonlock Protocol is a challenging scenario available within the Rebirth mod. It has its own lore separate to the main Rebirth game, so you download the mod and choose that scenario from the Rebirth menu. It fundamentally changes the game cycle by trapping the world into a perpetual nighttime. The central objective of the Moonlock Protocol is to survive, well, obviously, and eventually unlock the return of daylight by defeating the powerful bosses within the various hives across the map. The darkness is intense, it's pitch black, and the return of the sun must be earned. There are hive bosses, or 5 main hive queens, buried inside each major biome. To unlock each day, the player successfully clears one of these hive bosses, and then permanently unlocks daylight for a specific day of the week. For example, clearing the hive in the forest biome unlocks Mondays. Clearing the desert hive unlocks Wednesdays, and clearing the snow hive would unlock Fridays. The weekends are unlocked by killing a certain number of zombies from various biomes. When a day is unlocked, like for example Monday, the time and day are now visible during that brief period of sunlight. Due to the extreme darkness, lighting is critical. If your battery durability is low, the light will also begin to flicker intermittently. Rebirth is on my list of top 3 mods of all time. It is not everyone's cup of tea, but if you want a well-polished, very deep and true overhaul from a developer that is always upping his game and runs one of the most helpful discords that I know, then get your hands on Rebirth ASAP. Escape from Tarkov. Last year we demoed it with its initial release, which was mainly to do with firearms, with the developers aiming to incorporate at least 95% of the weapons from the original Escape from Tarkov game, which I see has actually now been released on Steam recently, with a lot of controversy following it. The weapons in the 7 Days to Die mod, though, blew everyone away with their sophisticated animations, like revamping the whole reloading animation of many guns that it has.
What do you need? Guns. Lots of guns.
Well, Keanu, you have them. The guns in Escape from Tarkov are many. This mod is the number 1 when it comes to the number of guns that are available. All unique in their design. Shooting a bullet from a pistol or shotgun means replacing the exact number of rounds that you discharged. So, if you shoot 1 round, you replace 1 round. If you shoot 4 rounds, you replace 4 rounds of ammunition. Weapons also display detailed information, including ammo type and the required repair item. There are many modifications, scopes, and items to add to your guns, many different add-ons that are also weapon specific. Even when you swap out the shells of your shotgun and switch between them, say for example buckshot or armor piercing, the detail is displayed by the colors of the shells that you choose. This mod has not been officially updated to 2.4 yet, but an unofficial version is available on Nexus for version 2.4. It's from another modder who has changed the original overhaul and updated it with a few tweaks. The dev M14 said he will likely do an official version next year with a few features. There is a version 2 official version on the 7 Days to Die mod site, but that is pretty old, so ignore that if you want to play a more recent one. Owing to M14 being the sole developer managing the mod now, he said that it probably will take him a lot longer to do updates. He said that hopefully there will be an official one in early 2026. Now, do you just want the guns in your own playthrough? As this overhaul is not a walk in the park with its learn by doing and very challenging system, you may not want to play the full-blown overhaul, but just want the guns. Well, then the mod has you covered. There is a more limited or simplistic version of the gun system on Nexus. This separate mod is not a full overhaul. A well-known modder, Stallion's Den, is maintaining the EFTX mod, which is just the weapons, the ammo, weapon mods, and some medical items from the Escape from Tarkov main overhaul. It is a standalone mod designed for people that just want to play with EFT's guns, and you can obtain that from Nexus. All these well-established mods are available for 2.3 or 2.4. Where's UK? Joke Mod, the Wasteland or the unofficial Fallout mod, Preppocalypse, Black Forest, Wild West Mod, and Tongo Mod have all been updated. These mods have been around for a long time, and you can get them from locations like Discord, Nexus, and 7 Days to Die mods. Many are also on the mod launcher. I do try to update links of the mods on my Discord, and as mentioned, I have followed now over 50 at this point. So, if you're looking for info on a particular mod or its Discord, I do post about them there. There is also a player called Renazi who runs a well-oiled website and updates about once per month with links, version changes, and some information from various overhauls. Hey, if you're not knowing what to play, try the Wheel of Fortune or the Wheel of Mods and spin to see what the gods would want you to play today. A very nice looking site, and you can get that link from our description. Right, dare I mention the most famous delayed mod, or will I jinx this release? Well, why not? Undead Legacy has been promising a release for many years now, with a very healthy support group of people still waiting for its release. The dev Subquake has been slowly inching his way to publishing his latest version. His last version update was November 2022, yep, 3 years ago. As much as many have declared his mod as never going to happen, he has kept going. Well, what is so different from the previous times? Well, he says that he has finally completed the features he wanted before he released, and is adding the final touches and also updating to the most recent 7 Days to Die version. I think it would have been great to release now in November to mark the 3 years since the last update, but of course, he didn't say that, but has indicated it is now closer than ever. Anyway, wishing you a speedy return, Subquake. Undead Legacy is another mod on my top 3. This mod kicks butt, and for many, it is how vanilla should have been done. A new kid on the block is the Asylum mod by Bad Bunny, Killer Bunny's cousin, but not related. And the POR maker is DeWolf. In a nutshell, the Asylum is a massive dark survival overhaul for 7 Days to Die, featuring more than 750 content pieces with Hell or Asylum type themes, progressive difficulty scaling, and a complete gameplay transformation. I know those are just words, so you're just gonna have to play it to experience it. The mod claims to have completely redesigned zombies with custom Unity work and with over 600 custom zombie variations. A huge undertaking to introduce a horde of demon monsters, horror icons like, say, Freddy Krueger, or evil nuns and medical staff, freaks, insects, animals, and of course, well, the undead themselves. Over 40 elite monsters, and don't forget the more than 70 Asylum staff that are also being added for you to kill or be killed by. I must admit, this mod is giving me Age of Oblivion mod nostalgia from, well, a few years back. I would love to see what this mod has in store, and which one of the two are going to be the most nuts with bizarre creations. There are hireable NPCs in the mod and custom Asylum themed bandits. the traders have also been customized and refitted. For example, Dr. Pestilence, the Plague Doctor, was formerly Joel.
Greetings this fine afternoon. We've got great deals all day.
There is Tracker Voss, a bounty hunter who was previously Hugh.
A big-ass gun'll make you hard.
Jen is transformed into Nymphadora. Naturally.
Konnichiwa. Oh, that's good afternoon in Japanese.
And who do you think this is?
It's fucking hot out there this afternoon, so don't test my patience.
It has a massive POI overhaul, brand new ones with immersive locations and challenging dungeons. Storage is excellent with a Dropbox ability for easier distribution of materials and loot. This goes along with the robotic storage, which allows you to craft from storage and makes crafting a lot more easier with all the many additional components that the mod introduces. The mod also has easier base repair and a larger backpack. Besides the many weapons and custom legendary tier equipment, Asylum mod also has an advanced cooking system which adds different new foods, recipes and buffs to go along with those foods. Armor, jewelry, character progression are all included in the initial release of the mod. Not to forget that they also included additional ore, such as titanium, cobalt, quartz, and uranium for more crafting options. The fog system around the map is also something that you will pick up quite soon. The fog is constantly around you and gives the biome a creepy atmosphere with occasional lightning and thunder for good measure. Owing to some players griping about the fog, there is already a no fog patch that Asylum has provided on the Discord. In my opinion, I think the atmosphere is fitting and really isn't that bad. Besides the many workstations, there are also classes to choose, such as the Gravedigger, the Harvester, Hunter, and the Butcher. All the classes come with unique starter quests, roles, lore, and equipment. This mod already has a truckload going for it, and it was just released over during Halloween. So, watch out for this mod, it is a big contender, and if you have not, get your grubby paws on it, if you dare. Here is a new old mod. This mod was started many years ago while Wookie Nookie was helping out with the Ravenhearst Overhaul. It was released as a mini overhaul, but later it didn't receive any more updates. However, 2025 rolled around and the Winchester mod was brought back to life and released as a 7 Days to Die 2.3 version in September. So, what do we have here? First off, the Winchester mod is mainly there to enhance the vanilla 7 Days to Die experience without turning it into a completely new game. It tries to add depth, some realism and customization while keeping the familiar feel of 7 Days to Die. The mod is designed around the play it your way philosophy. For example, the developer includes many settings and deep menu customization so players can fine-tune everything to their personal preference. Most features can be toggled, adjust the difficulty, the realism, and the pacing that you are crafting for that perfect apocalypse, whether you want chaos, a chill exploration, or, well, something in between. The mod also offers quality of life improvements such as faster game starts, better workstation timers, longer lasting loot bags, highlighted resources like, for example, red coal so that you can spot it from a mile away, balancing animal drops, and quick armor swapping where you can instantly change to a stored armor set. Even an optional blood moon skip injection. You want to skip the blood moon? Well, hey, there's an injection for it. And a compass indicator for the next horde day, to name just two of those options. As usual, many of the great overhaul mods have reverted to action skills or a learn by doing system, and this mod is no exception. You progress in crafting and you level up through doing and using different things. There's item degradation, there's random zombie buffs, and the names of many zombies are unique. Larger ammo stacks, and even a cruise control for vehicles. Loot drops from aircraft are defended to make sure that it just provides a little bit more of a challenge. And get this, you even have an option if you want to sleep until dawn, which will cost you some water and some food. Things you don't like you can adjust in the menu, all to make your vanilla experience easier or, well, more difficult. Now, Nortman is a modder that created the Nord Army mod, which was originally a community mod. However, He has been working on an even greater overhaul experience, which has already been 2 years in the making before the first trailer was even shown to the public. Very little is known about this mod. The dev has been pumping out some trailers over the last couple of months and teasers on YouTube. From the trailers we can see that there are horses in the mod, which I guess from a Viking era you wouldn't expect 4x4s. All sorts of NPCs and monsters, certainly some are noticeably era appropriate. A lot of era specific boats in the second teaser were shown off, including some fighting with a shield and axe. But that appears to be mainly the extent of the gameplay so far. It will be very interesting to see what the world will look like, and if they actually accomplish a world full of Viking POIs and create a Dark Ages atmosphere. This mod is set to release in December 2025, hopefully. Now, I always enjoy seeing mods that do something very different from the norm. This is the huge 14K map of the next mod. It has numerous islands, and as you expect, to explore a world full of islands, well, you need boats. Undead Water 2 is developed by Dirk Killer Gaming and is the successor of Undead Water 1, which was released during version 1 of 7 Days to Die. It now has 5 exclusive vehicles, for example, the sailing boat, a hovercraft, and the Orca, which some of you will recognize as a reference to the Jaws movie. And there is also a flying boat. There are some exclusive zombies like Captain Blake, Commander Kane, and an undead diver and an undead mermaid. There are some new weapons, food recipes, and over 120 new POIs for version 2. This includes a few unique ones like an oil rig, shipwrecks, and sea traders. The oil rig does appear to harbour tougher monsters, so be aware before you just waltz in like I did. Currently there are no major skill changes from vanilla or classes or progression overhauls, but I still think this is a very well done niche overhaul that does a great job. I hope to see more done from this mod, like sharks. Right, my fellow minions, I hope to see you again. For now, I am out of here, and I will see you in the next one.